the After Sesh is proud to present to you our Premier League predictions show. How are we feeling about tomorrow night being the start of something amazing? It's finally back.
At the time of recording, it's tomorrow night. So, fuck it. Whenever this comes out, football is back. Starts on a Friday.
Football is back. It's never coming home, but it is back.
Only for the ladies. Let's keep it that way.
Only for the ladies, and fair play to them in fairness. But I still think the Irish women's team, Katie McCabe, Denise O'Sullivan, they're going to tear you apart to get a chance. Yup girls in green as well. But look, the most prominent thing on my mind this week, and there's a reason I'm wearing this beautiful jersey. There's a reason you're wearing that beautiful jersey, and it's because the Premier League is finally back. And I know I've said that already, but it's so nice to say, with no World Cup this summer when we were due a World Cup, it's just so nice to have the lads back on the field. And I honestly couldn't think of anyone better to be speaking to about this than the man sitting right across from me on a screen, somewhere in a different part of Dublin. But come on, let's get going with this. We have a few different things to bring up here about the Premier League tonight.
We do.
There's a few different things, a few interesting topics. And look, come here, cause for debate. Anyone in the comment section has any problem with anything that we're saying or has a different point of view, get onto us, let us know, and we'll tell you why you're wrong.
Put it down in the comments below.
That's it, exactly. Right. So, what do you want to do first? Do you want to go through some Premier League predictions? Do you want to go through some individual Premier League stat predictions?
I think we should go with the Premier League predictions, because then we can justify why we're going with. We can put our rationale then behind why we're picking each player for like top goal scorer, assist, overachiever, underachiever, etc. So it gives us a bit of gives us like a rationale why we're saying that person.
Right. That sounds good to me. So where in the league do you want to start? Do you want to go top to bottom or bottom to top?
I'll go bottom.
Or would you like to do, I was going to say another option, we could do top four, then relegation, and then the rest of the table.
It's up to you. From the bottom.
Start from the bottom, right? So there's no shock. I'll take it over from here, right? I'll go first, you go second, then you go first, I go second. Fair?
So I say my last team after you?
Yeah, so when I give my 20th, you give your 20th, then you give your 19th, and I'll give my 19th.
Right, let's go.
So this is predetermined. And then at the end of this, who knows, we might even make a joint league if we can actually agree on a few things. So, right, in 20th place, I have Bournemouth, because they have bought fucking no one this summer.
Same as myself, Bournemouth, bottom last.
Well, yeah, fair. No discussion needed there, no debate. So in our joint Premier League, which we've decided we're doing now anyway, Bournemouth are going to finish last.
I say there might be a few things we agree on. I say there'll be very, very few teams that we might disagree on, but sure, look, we'll get through it. And Bournemouth finishing last.
In general, I'll say in general, we will have a lot of teams that, well, they'll correlate with each other in regards to whereabouts in the table they're going to be, but who knows, they might not be in the same spot. So, sorry, I interrupted you there. So, in 19th place for yourself?
I have Fulham.
Fulham. Explain why.
The two promotion sides coming up, don't think they have the team to stay up, although Fulham have recently just signed Leno, which might stop them from conceding 5 goals to only conceding 3 goals maybe a match. But
see, the thing is there, Aaron, they did have Ariola in goal last time they were in the Premier League, and that didn't stop them from conceding 5 goals.
Yeah, it's hard for newly promoted teams to stay up. I think at least 2 of them will go down, but as we go on, you'll see where I put Nottingham first. Will they be my 18th place team? We'll find out.
Yeah, exactly. Tune in next week on Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, for me, number 19th, this could come as a shock to certain people. I know to some, I know to a friend of mine, this will definitely come to shock, but I'm going to go with Everton.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think that the club is being run right.
Wow.
Evidenced by the players they have, the business they've done during the summer, and the fact that Frank Lampard is still employed. So I can see them going down without much of a fight. And 19th place.
I hope so. I'm not going to say no, but that is a
prediction. Yeah, you know yourself. And in 18th place, I've gone for a team that you've already mentioned. Any guesses?
We already mentioned Bournemouth, so I'm going to guess Fulham.
Exactly. That was a terrible idea for me to say that. So anyway, Fulham is my team that's gonna go down in 18th place. And the reason for that, as you've mentioned as well, is they're a newly promoted side. They do have some really good players. I just don't see them being able to put it together. And like Norwich, they seem to be a bit of a yo-yo club. They're like West Brom from years ago. I just don't see them staying up. If they do pull off, I'll be happy for them. But at the end of the day, I just don't see them staying up.
They're one of those clubs, like they're a grand club. You like them, but if they go down, they go down. Stay up, you'd be happy for them. Like they're
Yeah,
just a
that's the
grand
thing. Like I
club.
wouldn't mind. I remember it wasn't too long ago that Damien Duff was on one wing. Fucking what, I don't know who the fuck was on the other wing. Clint Dempsey was playing as well. There was a few good old players there, and they got as far as the Europa League final and only lost to Atletico Madrid. So you have to look at that. That is football heritage right there. So
But let's finish
I
up.
hope they do stay up, but I could
let,
see them. I could see them finishing the bottom three.
let's finish up the relegation spots. On my end, I have Brentford finishing 18th. I don't want them to finish 18th, but I think second season syndrome will hit them. I really don't
No,
want them to go down, but I just have a feeling they might just struggle a bit and slip up a few times and just. I think on the last day of the season they'll get relegated. It's not gonna be like they're gonna be relegated with six games to go sort of thing. I say it's gonna be like last game of the season, maybe the last goal that will knock them down. I I would love to see them stay up and finishing high up, but I don't know.
yeah,
Just
I could also, to be honest, I could imagine it being a heartbreaking end of the season for Brentford. Now they didn't quite make my bottom three, but I understand the rationale behind it. Some of the signings they've made are really, really solid players. And based off of their kind of money ball approach to football, it's great to see something different like that in the league. But I can imagine them going down this season. I don't want to imagine it, but I can see it happening.
yeah, as I said, I don't want it either, but it's what I'm going with. So my next prediction
This is
is in
number 17.
17 is Nottingham Forest. I think they're going to stay up this season. One team
By
will
the
stay
skin of
up.
their teeth.
I think it's going to be them.
And do you reckon they'll stay up by much?
As I said, I think it's going to be the last game of the season. I think they're going to just nick it on the last day. Maybe Jesse Lingard scores a world to keep them up. There's a daily celebration in the corner. I don't know. But I just think they're going to
Maybe
stay
he'll
up.
win
And
Young Player of the Year, you know? He's only
you never
30.
know. Yeah, you never know. You might do. So I think they're going to stay up by the skin of their teeth. I think Brentford are going to be the team that just miss out and be relegated.
Fair. In 17th for myself, I have Southampton. And the reason I have that is because Southampton have, well, they're relying on a lot of youth this season. And I feel like Ralph Hassan, who may have ran out of steam when you look how they finished off last season, I think they have enough in some of the new signings they've made. Like Gavin Bazuna is a great signing, in fairness. Probably a better signing for the League of Ireland than it is for Southampton. But I feel like they'll have just enough to stay up, but they will need to seriously look at what they're doing going forward. Because I feel like that team is only going in one direction. And for a team that was doing so well a few years ago, it's not really good to see. Plus, they are a bit of a football factory when it comes to young talent. So it's nice to have them in the Premier League. But I just don't know. I think it'll be a bit of a struggle for them this season. But 17th is what I've given them.
And for 16th, who have we got?
I've gone for the mighty Brentford.
So that's where I hoped he'd finish, like in around 15, 16. That's where I'd love to put them. But as I said, I think they might just miss out, unfortunately. But in 16th, I've gone for a team that you've just mentioned, Southampton.
Oh,
So
nice.
just by a spot, like we're in and around the same positions. So I've
Yeah.
gone Southampton to finish 16th. You seen it last season, they struggled a bit, finished down there where they are now, where we put them. They haven't really made, have they made signs? I don't know. Like no one really stood out with who they signed. They, I just can't see them doing well. I can't see them getting their mid-table. I just can't see it.
No, I
Where
understand
they've always
completely.
been a decent side. They've always brought great players through, but they're slowly on the decline. And they could do a Sunderland where they might even fall to fucking League Two at one stage.
Yeah, who knows? Well, like, come here, let's hope Sunderland end up in League Two at some stage. And
Not
all I
too
will
long.
say is, as you said, we both agreed that Southampton have brought through some incredible players. And look, the jersey you're wearing, you know all about them, don't you? That's
Our
basically
B
your
team.
B team. So it's better for you to have them in the league, get your players Premier League experience before you end up fleecing them.
For 15th place on my league table, I've gone with the Seagulls. Brighton.
Brighton and Hove Albion. Why did you go for them in, where is it, 15th?
15th, yeah. Another decent side. They're a cunt to play against. They're like the fancy version of Burnley, like the posh end of Burnley. You think of Burnley, you think of like the Scangers, the 4-4-2, low block, hoof ball. Brighton are more
Kick the
than
legs off you.
that's it. Brighton is that team where like you have a bit of respect for them. They play stupid, shitty football, but you have a bit of respect for them. They do get results against big teams, but yeah, the teams above them, I just think just have enough. Like Brighton would be the team that get about fucking to do an Arsenal and get like 20 draws. I think that will let them down. They need to turn them draws into wins to get higher up, I think. That's why I went with them at 15th.
I agree with you there. I've gone for 15th place. I've gone slightly more optimistic for a team you've already mentioned. I've gone with Nottingham Forest there. And it's more so out of a want to see that happen. I think their manager did incredibly well last season when he came in. I think, honestly, they deserve to do well. They're a big club. Fucking Roy Keane played for them at some stage. So it's nice. It'll be nice to see Roy do a bit of punditry on that and just bring up Brian Clough for a while. So it's nice to have a big, one of the original big sides back in the Premier League. And with the likes of them, Villa, and like Leeds in the last few years, it's nice to see the Premier League be populated with traditionally bigger clubs. So I've gone with Forest there. I think in their QPR like spending this summer, I think they've done enough to stay up. Well, they'd want to watch that, you know.
Yeah.
And in 14th, I've mentioned Brighton and Hove Albion for the same reason you have, right? I think I've just given them a little bit of a higher placement. As you said, they do tend to get really good results against some bigger sides. But I've always known Brighton under Graham Potter to be the 1-1 draw merchants. They seem to be the sort of team that go 1-0 up and go, we'll set up for a draw. It's like Brian Kerr's Ireland back in 2004. Like, you know, it's Potter's a good coach. So they have some really good players, but I think the likes of Yves Bissouma, with Bissouma leaving during the summer, going to Spurs, it's going to be a big loss for them. Of course, Aaron Conley going to Serie B, well, that's going to be an incredible loss as well. So,
of course it is.
But they do have Welbs up front, so you know yourself, there's always a bit of safety there. So as I said, 14th place, I've gone for Brighton.
So that's another team that we've just missed out on by a spot either side. You've gone Brighton 14th, I've gone them 15th, so we're there and thereabouts so far. But my 14th
Brighton,
place,
Southampton, and Brentford have all been within a spot of each other, and so have Fulham. Yeah, but
Brentford
the one team we have.
Me.
Oh, fair. I was going to say the one team that we have both agreed on so far is Bournemouth.
Yeah, and then in my 14th place is different to yours. I've gone with Brendan Rodgers' Leicester.
Oh,
I just can't see them finishing in the top half. They've lost Schmeichel. They're losing Maddison probably to use. They're who was it, Chelsea or someone bid in for Fofana. Who else was leaving them? There was one or two other players that were leaving them. I love Leicester.
Vardy's going to retire soon.
Vardy, he's fucking 36. He's on his last legs. He still might get a few goals for him, but there's only so much.
Feed him enough Red Bull, he'll still get in behind the defence.
That's it. Like, I like Leicester as a squad. Like the past few years, they're a decent squad. I like Brendan Rodgers. I love Kasper Schmeichel. Sad to see him leave. I'm a goalkeeper himself, so he's one of the fellas that I look at and admire for what he's done, the kind of fella he is, his dad, all that. It's sad to see him leave the Premier League, but for all the players that they lost, I just can't see them finishing decent this season. So that's why I have them down 14th.
No, that's very fair. I understand that completely.
And then for the team above them in unlucky 13th is your dad's team, Leeds United.
Leeds United.
The reason I have them there is
Leeds. Marching on together. Heard that enough last season.
Last season, they struggled to kick on. I don't know if that was down to Bamford missing most of the season. They just couldn't gel. Season before was the fourth season they were up, wasn't it? Done well, done great. And second season syndrome just hit them. They fell off the pace a little bit. And I just can't see them. I think it's good for Leeds finishing 14th. Like, the teams above them, I can't see them finishing above any of the teams I have mentioned. So I think 13 is a respectable place for them.
I'd agree with you. And in number 13, number 13, in lucky number 13 for me, the Michael Ballack of this league is going to be Leicester City. For the same
Another
reasons
team.
you've mentioned. Yeah, for the same reasons you've mentioned. Their team is getting absolutely routed by any team that has a bit of get up and go on them. Like any team that wants to do something is going to look at Leicester and go, this is a team where I can go over and pick the bones. And there's still a lot of meat on those bones at the minute. So you'll see a lot more players coming in and out of the door over there. I honestly don't know what's happening with Leicester, but I can see them finishing 13th, to be honest. And in 12th, you ready to get freaked out? Leeds. Strange to do that in a Newcastle jersey, but still, my first club, Alan Kelly's favourite club. It's Leeds United. And Leeds, right, I honestly think last season they were done in so badly with Bielsa probably shouldn't have ever lost his job. He had times during the season where he had fucking 15-year-olds on the bench for Premier League games. When Arteta was calling off games for every time, like what happened? The kit man has COVID, so like that's another
Yeah.
player off the list. The tea ladies have COVID. It's like, no, they don't. They have the sniffles. Will you chill out? Like, so I honestly think Leeds were done dirty last season. They played games when they didn't need to play them. Obviously, not having the squad. Bamford was out for nearly the entire season. They were also missing their captain, Liam Cooper, for long spells. Calvin Phillips was basically a non-feature for most of the season as well. So you're looking at a team that's resurgent. They've just brought in Luis Sinisterra, as well as another American player, Aronson. I caught him in a friendly there the other day. He looks like a decent player. There's another guy, Christensen, at right back. Looks like also he's more of a replacement for Luke Ayling, who I don't think will get back into that side as a right back. I can see Leeds pushing on and doing a lot better this season and really establishing themselves as a concrete Premier League side, and that will happen by taking them to 12th, I believe. Yeah, 12th.
Yep. And
Yeah,
in my 12th position, I've gone with Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace, the Eagles. And the reason I put him there is with him in charge, keeping Zaha was a big plus. They're like the Brighton. They're a dodgy team to play against. You can either...
Especially Brayos.
Yeah, fuck off. You can either lose by a goal to them, which we've learned from the past, or they're
3 goals.
Fuck off. Flashbacks. Or they're a team you can go out and hammer 7 or 8-0, which we've done before. They're a dodgy team to play against. A lot of respect for them, the fans, Patrick Vieira, what he's doing, Zaha for staying there for so long. They're a decent now squad, and I think this is Vieira's second or third season with them, so
it's second season with him.
Second season, so I can see them kicking on now. He's got a proper season with his belt, and as I said, he kept the big players, so I can see them kicking on and finishing 12th.
Lovely stuff.
I'll move on to the 11th place on my table here. I've gone. I can't talk. Jesus Christ!
You've gone the one for who?
I'm getting nervous talking about this team. I've gone for Wolverhampton Wonders.
No wonder you're nervous. They'd make the shite roll down anyone's leg, these lads. Did you see they've gotten like 18 goals in pre-season for a team that can't score? Daniel Podence has been absolutely ripping up the wings.
So, these are a team I hope finishing top half of the table. I'd love to see them up 7th, 8th, but as they're another team that just constantly just get draws. They need to start turning them draws into wins to be in top half. It could prove me wrong, but I just think they're going to be one of those teams that just constantly just get draws or lose by a goal. Like, they have Jimenez back, happy days, but I just think they're a very defensive counter-attacking team. I can't see them going out and like beating a team 3-0 or whatever. I hope they do finish higher. I hope to prove me wrong, but I just think they're going to finish in 11th.
Yeah, I understand that. That's fair. In 11th place, I've gone for Crystal Palace.
Another team are so close on, Jesus.
I know. This is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, so Palace, I think Vieira's done a really good job, but they do tend to finish like 11th or 12th or 13th every season. So another solid mid-table year for Crystal Palace, and I don't think anything more needs to be said on that matter.
No.
Here we go, breaking into the top 10 here, and coming in live and large, course, it's Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa.
Any reason?
Coutinho for 17 million. For 17 million. He was sold for like 160. 17 million. He obviously has the pull factor, Gerrard. He has players like Bertrand Traore, I think, might still be there. Leon Bailey didn't really do much last year, a bit of a non-factor, but I feel like this year he could really push on.
Matty
The Ramsey
Cash,
brothers. Bro, Matty Cash, the Ramsey brothers, Luca
Martinez.
Digne. Martin, again, there we go. In my opinion, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League is there. So Villa could do more than this. I think they could do a lot more damage. Well, I think it's hard to argue with 10th place for Villa in my head. It's the only place I could really think to put them. I don't think they're going to push for Europe, but I think they're going to be a thorn in the side for any side that wants to pick up points.
Yeah.
You won't get an easy game at Villa Park this season.
And for my...
You know all about them easy games at Villa Park, don't you?
Stop giving me flashbacks, will you? When you start getting good, I'll start ripping into you.
Yeah, don't worry.
For my mid-table squad team, my Bob, I've gone with our rivals, the other side of Merseyside, the blue half. I've gone with Everton, the Toffees. I think they'll kick on from last season. I would love to see them get relegated. I think 10th is going to be flattering for them. I think I'll put them a bit too high. Yeah. I think I put them a bit too high, but I just think last season was a bit of a blim. I don't want them to finish 10th. I'd love to see them finish down where you have them. But for some reason, I just think Everton, like, if they can keep everyone fit and keep their clean sheets, they can make a few results, and they have the potential to finish 10th, but I hope they don't. So I'm going to start talking about Everton now because it's killing me. I'm going to move on to my 9th place, which is your 10th place position. It's Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa. I put them 9th. I had to put them ahead of Everton. I just had to. Villa will finish top 10. I just know where to put them. But as you said, the players you've mentioned, all great players. Steven Gerrard, what a legend. Kick on with them. And I don't think I have anything more to add to that. I just hope they finish high enough.
So where's that 9th you put them?
Yep.
Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Oh, this is going to bring me on to the business end of the table. So
we're getting there.
We're getting there. 2 more teams until we get to Europe. So in 9th place, I've gone for the Hammers. West Ham. Phil Mitchell's favourite side, you know. Unfortunately for West Ham, I think Moyes, obviously he's brought in some good players this season. He's revolutionised that team and how they play. There has been a bit of a drop-off, though, last season compared to the season before. And another grueling season in Europe is going to take its toll on West Ham again. I feel like it'll take its toll on their league position more so than anything. I could see them going out and absolutely hockeying teams in that Conference League. Hopefully they win it. But I just don't see them finishing inside the top 7. I think they'll squeak into 9th. I think there won't be much of a fight from most teams behind them. But I think West Ham will be 9th by probably about 6 to 9 points.
That's a show.
I feel like there'll be a bit of a difference now between the top 8 in the league, or the top 9 in the league, and the bottom 11.
Still no mention of your team, so I'm interested to see where you have them. Who have you got in 8th position?
You don't mention from yourself either, and usually we're about 14th, so who knows? This could be great.
Who have you got in 8th position?
In 8th position, I've gone for Wolverhampton Wonders. I'll tell you why. As I said to you, they have scored about 18 goals in pre-season, and for a team that for some reason couldn't hit the back of the net last season, that's fantastic. Company that with the fact that the defence was unbelievable, at least for more than half the season last season, and you have a huge threat to any side. You guys seen it on the last day of the season. There was scary moments in that game for you. There's a lot of there you go. There's a lot of teams that would not want to play Wolves on their day. City just don't tend to have they probably hammered now. I'm probably gonna get proved wrong. They probably hammered them last season. But City always seem to get a good game out of Wolves. It always seems to be a little 1-1 or 2-2 in Molyneux. They get hammered in the Etihad. But I just think Wolves are a good side, and they'll be a hard team to bet against most sides this season.
Just add
except
one more
for City
thing.
in the empty hat.
Just add one more thing there to Wolves. Your man Fabio Silva, still a young player, getting a bit older, so hopefully he can kick on and get a few more goals from him and Jimenez up front.
Hopefully so. For a fella that was touted as possibly the next Ronaldo, you'd love to see him kick on, show the potential. and show the reason for the price tag. He was 38.5 million when he was signed 2 years ago. And if I'm being honest, his ability, his showing in the Premier League hasn't really proven that he's worth that much. If you think about it, obviously it's not adjusted for inflation.
No.
Aguero cost 38 million when he went to City.
Yeah.
So there's a big shoes to fill there. So hopefully you can do it. So go on ahead, Aaron. Who's your number 8?
Number 8, I have the Howie lads, the Newcastle. Have you finishing 8th, which I think is decent. I can't see is finishing ahead of anyone else I have in my top 7. I think 8th is good for. It's good progression for you. It's not like a huge jump. We're getting fucking Europe, we're this, that, blah, blah, blah. But I think it's the next step you need. And hopefully in January and the summer transfer window, these can kick on again. And hopefully then next season, give a reasonable push for top 4. I just think this season for you is going to be a learning curve and it's going to be a stepping stone. I just think that he's not going to go from here to here. You have to go from here to here to here to here. I just think that's one of the steps you need to make. And I think 8 is a reasonable position for us.
I'd agree with that. Honestly, yeah, it's a process, and we'll see what happens.
And then for my 7th place, I'm gonna go with the Hammers. I'm gonna go with West Ham. I think they finished their last season.
They were 7th last season.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna say the same. As you said, with Europe, like I know it's only the conference, but I hope they do win it. And with the amount of games that they'll have, like you have the Premier League, the World Cup, Europe, the FA Cup, depending how far they go in that, the League Cup, depending how far they go in that. I just don't think they have the squad depth to push any higher. And Antonio as well, will he start to drop off? Will he not score as many goals? And as I said, yeah, I just think the squad depth, they're lacking that to make a push for any higher positions.
No, fair enough. So do you want to hear my 7th place?
Yes, I do.
Oh, hey, lad. It's Newcastle United squeezing in to the Europa Conference League spot. I feel like it's well achievable with the teams that are ahead of us, that finished ahead of us last season, all mostly being in Europe. And look, we've plenty of summer left, plenty of window left to sign a few more players. I think the players they brought in, making Matty Target a full-time signing, great idea. Nick Pope for 10 million, can't fault it. And Sven Botman, we're looking at him since January, and we finally got him at a cheaper price than we were actually offering in January. From what I've seen of Botman, he looks like a great defender. He's only 22 years of age, and hopefully he becomes our Van Dijk. That's the way I look at it. He's Dutch enough. And in 6th place, now I really wanted to put these in fucking relegation zone, but I can't because of a certain baldy Dutch man. It's Manchester United. So I don't know what's going to happen to them this season. I can imagine 6th place, but I could also imagine them not getting Europe. I don't know if a title push is on the cards. Honestly, I'd have to see what the team comes out like. But going with my head here, I couldn't see them finishing inside the top 5. Never mind the top 4 or the top 2 or winning the league before Newcastle push luck.
Just to add on to that, I have them as 6th as well. As you said, I hope don't finish 6th. On paper,
them and Everton in the relegation zone.
Yeah, happy with that. Ten Hag has good players on paper. Will they kick on as quick as he wants them to? Will they adapt as quick as he wants them to? I hope not, but only time will tell. Look, they beat us 3 or 4-0 in the pre-season. That tells you all you need to know about pre-season. It means sweet fuck all. I seen Rob Green predict them to finish 2nd. I want whatever he's smoking. So
yeah, I'd say it's pretty fun. Probably tripping balls right now.
I can't see them finishing any higher. It was a compliment as well to put them in 6th. I was going to put Hughes ahead of them, but stepping stones for Newcastle, as I said. But we'll kick on. Okay. 5th and just missing out on Champions League spot, I have Arsenal. Ooh. They'll kick on from last season. Do you have a young squad that's just got that bit older? Do you have a bit of experience? And I think this is going to be a tournament season where they'll kick on, just miss out on Champions League football. And I think they might some of them freak results where they lost to shit teams, and you might actually get a draw of results in. So I think that's going to push them up to 5th.
Oh, good. I like that. I've gone for an absolute shocker here. Chelsea in 5th place. There's too much turmoil at the club. Too much is going on in the background. Sorry, I just got a cramp in my hand. Too much going on in the background, and it's too much of a distraction for the players. There's a lot of movement. Honestly, Tuchel's probably getting the players in that he wants, but I just don't see this being their season. And in 4th place, I've gone for Arsenal. Pretty much the same reasons you have. I just haven't had them had that drop off. I'd imagine Europa League football could take a toll. So these two are interchangeable, really. But I could see Chelsea missing out and Arsenal sliding in to those DMs.
And in my 4th, I have your 5th place. I have Chelsea finishing 4th. As you said, a lot is going on in the background. It looks like Werner is gone. They brought in Sterling, but I was seeing something there. I think I don't know if I sent it on to you, but the past 5 strikers they've signed haven't scored more than 8 goals in a season.
It's their number 9 curse between Fernando Torres, Morata,
Lukaku, Werner.
Lukaku, Falcao, Werner. Any number 9 they've had has been shockingly bad at that team. Except for Torres and that one time he made Gary Neville Jesus fans. But still, Gary, we all know you're a Chelsea fan. We all know Gary's a Chelsea fan, really.
And they've signed Koulibaly and during the process of signing Cucurella, so they're strengthening the back where they don't concede goals as much. They're strengthening that position rather than up front. But they have a decent side, but for me, I think they just get top 4. And for 3rd position for me, I've gone with the other London club. I've gone with Tottenham Hotspur. I can't see them finishing 1st or 2nd. Conte's a good manager. They have great players: Son, Harry Kane, Kulusevski. Decent squad, decent manager, and I think they're going to get a good points tally. But I just think City and Liverpool are just in a league around. I think they're just going to be in the world around again this season. It might be a tiny bit closer, but I think Spurs have the best chance of finishing on the top half of the table outside of Liverpool and City. I think they have a great chance.
So Spurs will be the best of the rest, really, won't they? I have Spurs down as my 3rd as well.
Yeah.
I think they will be the best of the rest of the sides. Okay. So I feel like at this stage, regardless of, there's only 2 teams left for both of us, so we're on the same wavelength with this. So is there any point in us mentioning 2nd place, or should we just jump to 1st? Because everyone will know who's going to be 2nd.
Yeah,
we'll jump to 1st. Right. Who's going 1st? Did you want to say same time? You go 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, go on.
We both say?
Yeah.
3. So on 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Liverpool.
Boom.
Yeah, there you go. I think is that actually have the legs on City this season. I feel like City have had they haven't really weakened, but I don't know. I feel like they have a few players like Julian Alvarez and Erling Haaland that might have to adapt to the league. I could end up eating that quote, saying Haaland might have to adapt to the league. But,
clip that.
Clip it up. Clip it up. But I just feel like Liverpool have too much in them this season. They haven't won it a year or 2. I feel like this will be their season. City gonna be absolutely magnificent side as usual, but I think Liverpool will take it.
City have won the last 4 or 5 leagues. I think it's their time to drop off again. Let us win the league in front of fans. Let us celebrate the proper way. I think we're going to have more heart in them this season. They're going to drop dodgy points against some teams. And they're still going to finish with a high points tally, but I just think we're going to have enough just to kick on. We haven't lost we lost Mane, but we replaced him with Diaz, who's had half a season or whatever under his belt, a full pre-season as well. He's going to kick on. Sign Nunez, starting to find his feet a little bit. So we're still the same squad, whereas City have lost a good few players. Maybe not many starting. Shevchenko, Ake, Sterling, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I just think, hopefully, I'm praying to God, this is the year that we go and win it the proper fucking way. Come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that myself, bro, to be honest. I'd rather we won it, but I don't see it happening. Right. There's a few things that we need to discuss here. And the league table isn't the only important thing. There are things like individual awards. So We'll rattle it off here. Who do you
Will we
think is
get
going
it
to be
done
the
in
top
2
goal
minutes,
scorer
will
in the
we?
league? I think we will. Quick fire around.
Quick fire round.
Who's going to be who's going to be top goal scorer?
Mo Salah. I think Salah will.
You're going to make Son cry because I think he's going to be top goal scorer.
I can see why you picked it, but I had Kane or Salah, but Salah's been too consistent over the past few years, so I think he's going to do it again.
Oh, I can easily see him do it. But I think Son will retain his title as top goal scorer.
Right,
For
last
assists,
now, let's go. I've gone with
for
Trent
assi-
Alexander.
Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think Bernardo Silva is going to get the assists. To be honest, he's
Wanker.
going to get the most assists. You know
Definitely
yourself,
not.
it's all about who you're setting them up for. But golden gloves, clean sheets, who's going to get the most?
Beautiful God himself, Alison Becker. The absolute
Oh,
sex demon himself.
fella's going to be baptizing people all season, and I have him
Oh,
down in the same spot. So I want to talk to you about these last two things, right? We're going to have an underperformer and an overperformer. So who is going to be the player that overperforms compared to what they usually would in the Premier League this season, in your opinion?
your striker, your front man, Colin Wilson, injured most of last season. For the games he did play, scored a double the figures and goals. If he stays fit all season, he's going to kick on and push 16 odd goals, if not more.
See, that's the thing with the likes of Callum Wilson. If he does stay fit, he's a phenomenal goal scorer. But I've gone for another Newcastle United player. And I know you said pre-season means fuck all, but I think he took what Jack Grealish said to heart. Miguel Almiron has 5 goals in pre-season, including 2 goals in 45 minutes against Benfica in the Eusebio Cup. I think he will push on and overachieve compared to his 1 goal in the league last season.
And underachiever?
Underachiever. Now, I was going to put down Jack Grealish, but he really isn't going to achieve anything anyway, and I don't really think he's that good. So, underachiever, I'm going to put down Raheem Sterling. I feel like he's a forward that's going to Chelsea, and that is written in the stars that failure is imminent. I
I've
like
got
Sterling. I think he's a good player, but I just don't see him. I think Chelsea have a curse there, and I just don't see it going too well for him.